Hello, I'm Bonnie-Lynn, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my studio. Today I am going to show you how I made this card with the Light the Sky stamp set and dies. But before we get to that, the last chance sale is still ongoing, and it's through January 3rd. Items are selling pretty quickly. Now, and it's the items from the mini September to December catalog. And even though this was in the catalog, it is not being discontinued. It's going to make a great 4th of July stamp set, so it is being carried over. It will probably be under online exclusive after January 3rd, and we don't know if it will go in the annual catalog or not. I kind of hope it does. So that's that. And let's see, what else is there to tell you? You can find in where you click on to watch the video, there's an area that says description. If you read the description, you will find a link that takes you directly on my website to this card. And there you can print out the directions, or else you can save it on your computer as a PDF. There's a button about a third of the way, half of the way down the page, and it says print for directions PDF. Click for directions PDF. And also on the right-hand side of my webpage is the host code. And if you use the host code on an order of $50 or more before shipping and taxes, you do receive rewards points. And you get 2 for the first $50, and then in increments of $25 after that, you get 1 reward point. And once you hit 10 reward points, you earn a $25 gift certificate to use with me on your next order. You cannot place the order online because I have the gift certificate is through me, and so the order has to be placed by contacting me. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. I love the comments. YouTube loves the thumbs ups and the comments too. So you're helping your demonstrators when you watch their videos, if you do that for them. And I think that's it. If not, I'll think of it and tell you as we go along. All right, and my website is BonnieStamps.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, Bonnie-Lynn Linky, Paper Crafter. And all my cards go on Pinterest, and they do get posted on Facebook and Instagram also, along with other items. Okay, so here we go. This is the card we're going to make. This is the stamp set, Light the Sky, and these are the dies. There's 6 dies, and I had just bought the stamps thinking, oh, I won't need the dies. I won't use them. Well, of course, the first card I wanted to make, I wanted a die, so I had to order the dies in order to make the card I wanted to. And we are doing a Happy New Year's card. That's why I went with silver and white, and I think blue represents New Year's. So that's my reasoning behind it. Let me grab my items from under here. Here we go. And we're going to heat emboss. And I know my heat tool is someplace around here. And we're also going to use the blending brushes. So let me move this out of the way and set it up where I can see it. I try to set it up where I can see it. I'm offing thumbs today. Okay, so we're going to start with the heat embossing, and we're going to do the front page. And what I did for that one is I used 3 different stamps for what we're going to put on here. So we are going to use this stamp right here. And then we are going to use this one right here. Get a smaller block here. This one should fit on the smaller one. And that one right there. We're going to use the bigger one, but not on this piece. So we are going to, here's my embossing buddy. I'm going to give it a good dusting. There we go. And let's see. I want this one right up here in this corner. I think I'm going to put it down here this time too. Don't want to go too low because They need to be up in the sky. Okay, and let me see. I know you can't, this is clear, so it's real hard for you to see, but I do have it right there and right there. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna try and figure out if I can see where the top of that one is. I'm gonna put this one right here like so. And I don't want this to go over top the top one, but I want it over here. Hopefully they're not touching. And then I'm gonna put one right here, just because I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put the blue one at. And I'm going to get my clear embossing powder. This is one of the basic embossing powders. Clear, white, and black are the basic ones. And I put mine in a container like this. The additions tray is really cool to use, but because I do so much embossing, I do it this way. I don't keep them in the container. And I don't know where my brush is for my embossing tray. So I'm just gonna take this, take your pick, and just hit the back to get off the loose stuff. And I don't know if you can see that white embossing powder on there. And I should have probably maybe put a different one up in that corner, but I think it will look just fine. Okay, now I'm done with the clear embossing powder. And this is fine to sit for a minute, because what I'm gonna do next, before I heat emboss, because I just wanna heat emboss everything at once so that you don't have to keep listening to it off and on. This is the piece of paper that is my layer right here. But this one that we're embossing on is gonna cover it. So I am gonna emboss my silver firework right in the middle of this. So, and that's how I save on using paper. And I recommend you do the same thing, because nobody's gonna know but you that there's a hole in the middle of this blue paper that is hidden from sight. And I'm just gonna put it right in the middle. And you're supposed to hold the photopolymer down for 5 seconds. I realized I didn't do that on the other one, but you can see this. And let me push these out of the way. You can see this one, the Versamark on there. Isn't that pretty? Now you can leave that and let it dry, and it would be, it will show up just like that on an image. So Versamark on color cardstock, you can stamp a background that way. And I like going over my image a couple times with the embossing powder, just because I feel it covers it better. And let me get my take your pick tool again. I want to get off all that loose embossing powder. Okay, now I am going to heat emboss. So I apologize for the noise, but there is no way to avoid it. I did not pre-do anything for this one. So you're getting the whole image of it, the whole making of it. So turn it on, and I let it warm up. I'm doing this one first so you can see how when you heat up the embossing powder, I say it melts, but you can see it as it changes. And as I've mentioned before in an earlier video, the first card I ever made involved heat embossing, and I believe the silver embossing powder. And I was so thrilled with it that that's how I got addicted to making cards, and addicted I am. Now on the clear embossing, and especially on white, or really any color, you're not really gonna see it as it turns that much. And doubt you can see it at all on the video, but it is melting. It is turning clear. It's real important that you make sure you have it all melted, because we're going to use our blending brush and it will come off and make a mess on your blending. Almost done here. Okay. Let me see. So, and I'm going to lightly touch it, make sure. Yeah, it's good. All right. I'm just going to lay that down on the floor there. Okay, we don't need this for right now. We do need paper, because the next step is to take our blending brush, and I have, this is the one I use for blues, and if you see, I'm going to rub it on. Some does come off right now, and it's a good way to clean it off. Now, I am going to take some down here, and you know, I think I may do that right now while there's not much ink on it, because I want it real light down here. And the colors I'm using are Starry Sky and Night and Navy. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up. Let me pull this down. I don't want to get too far up, but I don't want to be too far down where you can't see it either. So, okay, this is my Starry Sky. And I didn't do it on my Night and Navy, but you see how I did that strip from where the labels are? You got the Starry Sky. That way it gives me, because if I had the Night and Navy one in there, it would be a lot darker, so I would know. And then I put a name at this end too, just so I have the color in case I put it in my holder backwards. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to start off the paper. I'm going to rub this on. And I know you think it's covering the fireworks, but we're going to get a paper towel. And that's what I forgot to bring over. I was thinking, oh, I know I got everything over here that I need. And I just realized I did not bring a paper towel over, but I have some in here. So, get that down here, because I want more color down there. And you just keep putting on until you get to the level where you want it. Now I want it deeper than this, so we're going to go a little bit darker. But I don't want it Night and Navy dark yet. I love the Starry Sky. It's such a pretty blue. It's a shame it's an in color and not one of our other colors, because with Pacific Point not being a regular color anymore, now I'm taking Night and Navy, it kind of leaves a hole. So, and if you're doing blending like for water or something, I recommend that you get this one and keep it. It's a good one. Okay. And don't forget, Paper Pumpkin is, you need to order it by the 10th of the month. And they came out with some exciting news today. They are going to make a die set that will coordinate. Okay, it will be available. I don't know if it will be available this month to buy the die set, or you have to wait till January. But the die set will work for the January, February, and March Paper Pumpkin. And we'll know what the 3 paper pumpkins are right up front. And then April, May, and June, Paper Pumpkins will have a die set. So Stampin' Up! Is listening. People have been asking for this. And so I'm excited. Now the die set will be an add-on item. Just get a little bit. I think I want it a little bit darker in areas up here. So that is exciting news, because that's one thing I've always wanted was a die set for it. And I think paper pumpkins have gotten better with over time. I think they've been listening and they've really been, I think, doing a much better job of getting what we want for it. So, add a little bit more color down here. Okay, I'm happy with that. So if you like paper pumpkin, you should be excited. And if you haven't tried it, Celebration starts in January. And what I would recommend is you buy a 3-month subscription for it. And that way you get a free Celebration item if you buy the 3-month prepaid. And it's a good way to try it. And it's paper pumpkin is such, if you don't like what the theme is 1 month, then you can stop it for a month and not get it. Okay, now I'm taking a paper towel. This is actually a shop towel. And I'm rubbing it over my embossing. And you see how the coming back up? The idea was to show off our embossing. Gotta look kind of hard. And I probably didn't hold my ink down good enough to get more clear on it, because as you see this one, I held it down for the 5 seconds and see how clear that is. So I would hold your stamp in place for at least 5 seconds. I did not do that on this one when stamping these. Now I did for the silver. So let me see if I can rub off a little bit more. But I still like that. Okay. So, oh, we still have to heat emboss down there too. I forgot about that. Okay. So let's go ahead and stamp our saying and get that heat emboss. So I'm gonna, because we're doing it in silver, so I'm gonna put that on there. I'm gonna get my pad back. I'm gonna pick my heat tool up off the floor. Just trying to be so prepared. Okay, and use my embossing buddy. Use my Versamark, stamp it up good. And I think my Versamark needs refilling. Okay, and I'm just gonna figure out where I want that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But you need to stamp your clear before you do any of the blending brushes, or else it won't show up. So we are doing this in silver. And I must have rocked my stamp a little bit, because you see that right there? Now I don't have, oh, here it is, right here. So I'm gonna take my brush and I did knock some of that E out of there, so let me start all over. Okay. Just try and make that E a little bit cleaner looking down there. Oh, I may have made it a little bit thin, but that's okay. I think it will look just fine. It's a homemade card. There's no such thing as perfection in a homemade card. I learned that a long time ago. I'm more of a perfectionist with my quilting though. I mean, my corners have to line up perfectly. If it's 4 corners coming together, I drive you crazy. Okay, look at that. All right. Looking good. Okay, so we are done. Oh wait, we do have to stamp our inside saying. So I will need my pad, so I don't want it to go too far. But let's get the card assembled. Okay. You want to fold it in half, and you want to burnish with your bone folder. But my bone folder took a break from working. So I'm just gonna kind of go like so. Okay, and figure out which side you want for the front. I want this side for the front. And then what we need to cut this out with our cut and emboss machine. Get those things out of the way so I can bring my cut. You know, I'm just gonna go right off the camera for a minute and cut this out. I think it'll be easier on you guys if I don't try to move it in here. Now, you want to get it lined up, and a good way to line it up is right down here where you see those two long ones close together, and that's this area right here, and then you got that area that goes in. And I am one of these people that on something like this, I do tape it in place and hope that it holds it enough so that it doesn't get completely messed up. Okay, and here we go. There we go. Okay, now I do not glue this one on because with my luck, I'd put glue right where the hole is. So I am going to get my Stamp and Seal. And I am one of these people that have trouble. So I get it going on my silicone mat. And I'm also one, I believe that you need to tape all the sides so that it looks like it's down and it holds better. But that's just my opinion. I normally use tear and tape a lot, but with my hands still bothering me, I don't think you really want to watch me do that. And I'm just gonna center that on there before I press down too hard. Okay, I got a little bit more blue at the top, but that's okay. Okay, press that on. And then we're gonna use dimensionals. And I love dimensionals. Can't use enough of them. Because when it goes through the mill, I don't want it to end up flat. So I start by putting one each in the corners. I'll put two over here. I know, I probably used too many. So leave me a note in the comments if you want to. Do you use a lot of dimensionals or do you use them sparingly? I think I used more actually on the other card. And I like using the edges when I'm doing a big piece. I'm gonna take the backing off of all of these. I didn't even bring over my little trash can. On Amazon, they got a really cute green can with a yellow lid that says trash. And then there's a blue one with, I don't know what color the lid is. I can't see it. See, I think it's white. It could be yellow. And it says recycle on it. And, well, it holds some pins. But I love my little trash can. Okay, and then you're going to want to center this on here. And put it down. So we use dimensionals to attach that. And then we're going to use dimensionals to put our firework on. And I think 3 will be enough for this one. And you got to decide where you want it to go. Being it went down there, I guess that's where it's going, right there. And then for embellishments on the front, I use the 2022-24 in color pearls. They are just so pretty. So pretty. And I used, I believe this is the Starry Sky right here. That's Orchard Oasis. But you know, even an Orchard Oasis would look pretty on here. And you can't really tell that it's a different color. And I'll just put that down there. And there you go. The front is all done. So now what we need to do is we need to do, I'm going to need the Starry Sky. We need to do our inside saying and the envelope. And for this, now I have Versamart ink on the stamp we're going to use, so hopefully that doesn't make a difference. We'll make the ink stick to it better, I think, to the stamp. So this is my Starry Sky ink. This is my envelope. And I'm just going to stamp it right here like so. 5 seconds. And if you want to, I didn't do it on my other one, but you can go ahead and, you know, we could put that one there. And then on either side of it, we can put the smaller one. Just like so. I like that. People are going to think you're sending me spiders. Okay, and then I have a piece of white cardstock. It's 3 3/4 by 5 because I'm going to put it on a piece of Starry Sky panel. And I'm going to just stamp this one right here. Now, another thing I could have done, I could have stamped off once and then put it in the middle and then stamped my saying over it. And for my saying, you can leave it blank if you want to do a handwritten note, but I'm going to use Let's Celebrate. And I'm going to need, wait, I think this one, I'll fit on this one here. So there we go. We're going to just try and see if I can get it straight. A little crooked, but you know, it's New Year's. Okay, and then I can use glue for this one. So, I got my green glue. Put it along the edges. You always want to make sure that your edges are sticking down so it won't peel out. Let me see, my little holder for it that my husband made me. It's not that crooked. It wasn't crooked enough to redo it. I'm trying to be somebody that doesn't go in and always try to straighten things out, redo it. I'm getting better at letting some things slip by. All right. Do you send out New Year's cards? I normally don't, but I may this year, especially if I don't get my Christmas cards out. Okay, and then we just put this in here, center it in, and we are all done. So let me close that glue up. Here is the envelope, and we'll show the back side of it, just right like that. Get this off of there. And then bring in the other card and show the envelope front on that one. And do I have it all on? I do. So there we go. That's your card today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope when New Year's come that you have a happy New Year's. And I will see you again next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye.